Today we're going to think about circles. There's no end to what you can do with a circle, honestly. If you look around you in your house, you'll see all kinds of things that have the shape of a circle in it. We're going to draw our circles, and we're going to think about what goes inside a circle and how you're going to draw that. Now I'm starting out with just my cup here, and I'll put a circle right in the center of my paper. And now I need to think about what it is that I can do with that circle. The possibilities are endless. Maybe you want to make a baseball. Any kind of ball, really. Got to put those seams and the threads on there. Unfortunately, a lot of you right now aren't playing baseball when you would like to. Maybe you want to think about doing a planet. So again, I'm going to take my cup, draw my circle. Of course, you don't need to use a cup. You can just hand draw your own circle if you want to hand draw your own circle. Maybe you want a circle that's smaller. Maybe you want a circle that's bigger, depending on the size of your paper. You be the judge of that. But now I'm going to think about what else can I do with this circle. I am going to make it a planet with rings. Now, since my rings are obviously on top of my planet, I can erase what goes over the top. Perfect. How about, I'm just going to do it right here, but what about, I'm going to hand draw my circle. It's not perfect, but nothing in nature is perfect, so that's okay. And I'm going to do the center of a flower. And lots of little circles to add the detail in your flower. I'm going to ask you today to try to do lots of details in your circle drawings. For instance, maybe I'm going to start with, again, my circle right in the center, and I'm going to think about this as being a hole in the ground. So I've got my circle. I am now going to, I want to make it look like it's a hole in the ground, so I have to put my ground, don't I? And I'm just going to do a bunch of little slash marks here for grass. Do you want to put dirt in there? You can put some dirt in there. Maybe you want to even take the edges a little bit and distress them a little. That'd be kind of cool. Now, what is going to be living in my circle? That's the big question, right? I think I'm going to put a gopher in my squirrel, and I want him to be fat. Gophers are fat because they've been busy eating in our, and you notice that I'm kind of using circles in here too, aren't I? He's got a big fat head. And I'm going to place his eyes in here, and we've got his nose, and he is very happy because he's been eating in my garden. Give him a couple of cute little ears, and he needs a couple of paws, and he's saying hello, try and catch me if you can. I don't know, he kind of looks like a bear. How can I make him look more like a gopher? I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? He's got too much of a... Here we go. And I'm going to put just a little circle here. And I'm going to put a little worm in here. I don't like him. There. And he's laughing. Okay. So the next one That's a gopher. You can put whatever you want in your hole. And my next, I'm going to make this a cave. Now to have it be a cave, of course you have to have a cave, has an opening, so you have to show the entrance to your cave. And I'm going to put a few rocks in here. And they become rocks. When you do these little, I don't know what to call them, but kind of adds texture. It looks like it's got layers, or it's been kind of cut into, the rocks have, and I want to balance this out a little bit, so I'm going to put some rocks over here. And maybe you want to put some tracks that are going into that cave. Because what's living in that cave is the question, right? And that's the detail. And I'm not sure I know what's living in that cave, but I'm going to put some spooky eyes in here. Now this, of course, doesn't become a cave also until I blacken it up a little bit. So once you've got everything, I'm going to ask you to color it in, if you have the means to do that in your home. If not, you can just do it with pencil if you need to do it with pencil. Whatever you have at home will work just fine to color this in and make it a cave. Now let's just say, okay, I'm gonna finish this up. Now to make these eyes even more interesting, I'm gonna make them yellow. And maybe, oh, and I can see I missed this pupil here. Maybe I want it to be orange, because they're kind of glowing in my cave, right? Oh, they're kind of spooky. So there you have a cave. Now I would go on and continue on coloring this if I were working to finish it. But let's move on to other ideas. How about an eye? This could be the center of an eye. So I'm going to do that. You know, we have that little red area that, I don't remember what you call it, but in our eye, and I'm going to do the outside of my eye, and I think it looks good. You know how we have a little bit of a layer in the fold of our eye? That's good. Oh, and you know what? This is too small. My actual, there we go. That's probably better, right? Eyelashes. And I want to, I'm going to erase this. Because what am I seeing in my eye? What is my eye looking at? Maybe it is, oh gosh, I don't know, trees on a mountainside, just to keep it simple. And I'm going to go right over the top of the center, because it's still there in the background, isn't it? Still a part of my eye, but I've got a nice scene inside my eye so I can see what I'm looking at. And I got a pretty good eye going there. How about a tropical island? Or maybe just a deserted island. How about that? So it's in the middle of the ocean. We're going to put some waves in here. Some motion lines, and we've got some heavy waves. And now to make it an island, oh, and you know what? I want to put a shark fin in there. Ooh, that's a good one. To make it an island, let's put a tropical tree on it. A palm tree. Hopefully that looks like a palm tree. Close enough. There we go. Get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. I don't know about my tree, but you guys get the idea. Now I'm going to have a person in here. And it could just be, I'm going to make him kind of a stick person to begin with. Then I'm going to put some swim shorts on him, swim trunks. Erase the legs. Give him some curly hair just for fun. Great big mouth and a speech bubble that says, "Help me." There's our detail, right? Oh, he's armless. He really needs help. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could even add some more detail. Let's do a broken up, let's see if I can do a broken up boat here. I don't need this anymore. What's going to make it a boat is going to be that sail. And it's broken up because we've got pieces of it scattered all over the island. Now I would probably kind of, again, make this not quite such a perfect circle, but that's up to you. So we've got a desert island now. Let's see, what else could we do? Oh, I got my eye there. Let us think about, I know. Let's make it a mouth. I'm going to make it the mouth of I don't know, an alien or some sort of a creature that really doesn't exist. But you could make it a mouth of a person. I'll show you a picture of that. I actually did one earlier. So we've got that, and his head could do something like this, where we've got eyes. Let's give him, I don't know, I've got 4 eyes going here, but, and I want to do layers to make it look like an eye. Oh, and he's got teeth, obviously. An eye means that it'll look like an eye when it has centers in it. A little bit of extra detail or pattern to it helps. And I think he needs, I don't know, some sort of an antenna. For ears. okay? And remember, I always say we don't like headless or heads that have no neck, that are floating heads. We don't want any floating heads. But I'm going to do a neck that comes in pieces. And I did it off to the side just so I had some room. And if you want, how about doing some claws over here? And again, you know, they have kind of those arms or the, there. Now what's in his mouth? Because he needs to be fed. So what's going to be in his mouth? Let's put, I don't know, I'm going to start out with tacks or nails. He looks like the kind of creature that would be eating metal. Maybe you want to put, I don't know, a cat in there, or maybe you want to put, I don't know, another animal or something like that. But that's a really good start for a mouth. Now, if you wanted to do a mouth of a person, I have a drawing that I was kind of playing with that you could think about. There's the mouth of a person that, this person looks kind of, I don't know, it's kind of scary, but nonetheless, kind of gives you the idea. You could, here, I have the tongue that is sitting back behind, but maybe you want to think about bringing that tongue out of the mouth a little bit. And they're yelling, so we've got that tonsil that is vibrating here. And we've got the motion lines that show the tonsil that's vibrating. Another one is, how about a circus hoop, or the fire, or a hoop that's on fire. So a detail for this would be, once you've got this drawing, and fire, I'm going to show you a little bit about fire, because fires can be hard to draw, and I'm not an expert by any means, but just come up and just kind of show it flickering. And the best way I can think of it is that you kind of move your pencil and then it comes to a point, because you know how flames kind of shoot out. So you want to make sure your flames just have a point. And then you've got your flickering flames on your circus hoop. Now what is jumping through your circus hoop? That's the detail that you want to put on there. We've got, how about a magnifying glass? Now if I've got a couple of ants here, but since this is a magnifying glass, what do I need to do? I need to make the ant in here look bigger. And of course my ants are not in any way scientifically correct. Actually, I think there's another, oh no, just one. So it needs to be bigger, because that's what makes it a magnifying glass. And all the little details will help. You could even color this in a little bit or shade it in, and that makes it look a little more realistic, or it's another nice detail. Maybe you want to show that it is on some cement and have cracks in the ground. You could have one big crack and then have it look little on the outside because it's not being magnified. So that's an idea, as a magnifying glass. Another idea would be, how about a camera lens? That's another great idea. How about, I don't know, let's see if I have any of it. Oh, I know. How about the portal of a ship? And I kind of extended our fish. So he's looking through the portal of the fish. We've got added circles in here for bubbles. And it looks like it's underground because we've got our plants that live underground that look like coral or seaweed or what have you. And probably it might not be a bad idea to do something up here so it looks like it's a ship. You could even do a couple more circles that come along the outside here. So it gives it that feel of additional portals too. or portholes. That might be fun as well. So that is about circles, and I want to see what you can do with a circle. A little bit of an extension to our lesson on circles is ovals, because of course an oval is just a circle that's been stretched out a little bit. And I wanted to add this because ovals can be made into Easter eggs, really simply. And think about how you can decorate your Easter eggs. I don't know about you, but I am not going to be decorating Easter eggs because I can't get out anywhere to buy the dye and all of that business. I hope that you're able to dye your eggs. Maybe you don't celebrate Easter, and that's okay too. Maybe you just want to decorate spring eggs, and that's okay. But when you do it, just hand draw your oval, however you make it work. I kind of like it the same size as eggs, because I'm going to ask you to cut them out, and you can, I don't know, you can put them in a cute little basket, or maybe you want to draw a basket and have cut out your eggs and then slip them inside the basket too, by cutting a strip of paper out and making a collage, which means you're taking all the pieces and gluing them together. Whatever you have on hand to decorate your eggs is fine. I use marker here, I have colored pencil here, and again, these are markers that have, I'm making the stripes on them. One added little hint for you, excuse me, is another way to paint if you don't have paint. So I'm going to add a little bit of color there. Take my brush with some water and just a little bit of water on your marker. So I did my dots with my marker, and I can spread that out with just a little bit of water. And I only dipped my brush once into that water, and I ended up with some really nice details, or a really nice dye in my eggs. I think it would be kind of fun too. I'm going to do this. And we'll do some blue in here. And let's see what happens. I'm just testing this out too. When we add and I'm kind of dotting this, the water on my paper, because it's going to move a little bit, and it's going to make it feel like it's like dye, because I've got those dots. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. So that's a way you can do your dyeing of your eggs without having to go out and dye real eggs. And some of us don't even like eggs, and I actually like eggs, but when I was your age, when I was younger, I did not like eggs. So all our eggs went bad because I wouldn't eat them. The other thing I would challenge you to do too with an oval is can you draw a rabbit with an oval? So we've got an oval shape for the body. I am going to do an oval for the head, and we need to give him, oh gosh, that's terrible. Legs. Or feet. He's got a little tail. I'm going to give him floppy ears, which is really what makes him a rabbit. And oh, now he looks like an elephant. Let's do this. And they have centers in their ears. So let's do a center in the ear. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this. I really don't feel like drawing his face. Now it's the back of a rabbit. How about that? He's very cute. All right, so you've got the back of a rabbit. You could do, if you want to look it up on Google, you guys have the advantage of being at home, and you can Google all of these things too to get ideas and how to draw one thing and kind of study it a little bit and bring it into your whole drawings or your circle drawings. And you have the advantage of being able to sit and look and erase and make it just right. So I'm anxious to see what you come up with. And your eggs, if you want to cut them out and put them in the window, maybe you want to make great big giant eggs. The other thing you can do actually with eggs is cut out something that has a nice pattern in one of your magazines and make it an egg. Like this right here. There's an oval. Where's my scissor? And look at that. It's a beautiful Easter egg. Okay, so there's all kinds of things you can do with circles and ovals. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. And the next time we meet, we will be thinking about squares and maybe some other things. So I hope you have a wonderful Easter if you celebrate Easter. If not, I just hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. So take care.